love what this next guy does, even though it's just a little bit illegal. He might even inspire you to do a bit of law breaking yourself.
Richard Reynolds is a guerrilla gardener to be exact, and he wages war not with guns and bullets but with fruit and flowers. Jill Higgins joined him for an attack on inner city Auckland.
We shall fight on the verges. We shall fight on the roundabouts, in the fields and in the streets.
And at the back of this apartment, it's armed resistance with trowels. Bombs even.
When you chuck the bomb, it needs to survive the impact of landing on the ground.
As for who we're fighting...
Apathy. I mean, that's what this is a resistance against. It's the apathy of everyone to think, well, I can't be bothered with that, or to not even notice it.
It's a global movement. Guerrilla gardening operations have been run in the UK, in Europe, in Libya, in Rwanda. That last one was unofficial. But now the leader has come here, courtesy of the British Council.
The British Council have taken me to some amazing destinations over the last few years, spreading my illicit advice.
This is how it all starts, collecting ammunition.
Well, we're looking for some immediate colour.
It's all down to flower power.
These are absolutely splendid. Yeah, I like to plant a few edibles. These are great.
This time, the British Council's paying, but usually...
I foot the bill, or we raise money every year by selling lavender that we harvest from our biggest guerrilla garden. It's about spending what you want to spend as if it was your hobby.
And for Richard, it all started as a hobby because...
I have no garden. You know, I live in an apartment. And yet the opportunity was there on my doorstep, quite literally, in the neglected flower beds outside that the council weren't looking after. And once you do a bit, and I see this with other guerrilla gardeners, they realise they can get away with it.
He rose through the ranks to commander.
I'm one of these accidental activists.
Yes, the activist bit. Why not just get council permission?
It crossed my mind to ask permission, but I quickly soon rejected that as a foolish strategy.
Because he gets away with it, and the councils turn a blind... Maybe they don't like the paperwork either. So what about here? We wait for our chosen battlefield to grow dark.
It's when people are home from work, so they're available to join in.
Not because it's illegal?
Well, there is also the added benefit of being less likely to bump into official people, yes.
Operation Liverpool Street begins.
This is a bleak landscape, but with autumn on its way, we have every chance of bringing some beauty to the bleakness.
There's enough for
Yeah, no, more, double.
Richard's hauled in a few helpers, community gardener Emily, Gareth from the British Council, a couple of locals and me. Not quite the coup he had in London.
Camilla was very enthusiastic. She helped harvest lavender.
So not actually breaking the law.
Anybody needs a haircut?
They're above the law.
Unlike Richard.
Have you actually ever got into trouble doing this at all?
Well, yes, though it tends to be a misunderstanding.
Happily take you into custody for criminal damage. If that's the way you want to go.
I don't know, I don't want to go that way.
We have a few rebels here too, the dancing gardener, who's planted up his verge against council wishes.
We've got radishes, we've got spring onions, we're absolutely loaded.
It's no joke that even planting a little fruit tree like this could mean $1,000 fine.
That's really depressing. I think this is something that must be challenged. I encourage mass tree planting.
It might get easier.
And the council is actually doing a lot of work to try and streamline all the different policies that actually make it easier for people to be able to do this, which is really great.
In the meantime, this patch is done. Just needs a guardian or two.
We've got two locals here. This is your patch now. This is you're claiming it.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Spades down, rubbish up.
Brilliant, we're done.
Time to stand back and admire.
It's a little explosion of colour within the bleakness.
Did you hear what that guy said? Are you happy with it? Yeah. I'm sure he was entirely happy.
We haven't seen it in the light yet, but nice idea, really nice idea. And I learned a new word from Jill's story, berm, B-E-R-M. That's a little grass strip in between your footpath and the road, and depending where you are and you...
Everybody knows that word.
Everybody but you knows that word.
Sorry, dude.
As you know, a berm is the grass strip between your footpath and the road. And did you know, if you're planning on going and planting on the berm, check with your council, because different councils have different rules about whether you can or can't plant on there, and you can get fined and everything.
After the break...